Hello again, and thank you for joining with me in our little talks that I have. I keep them to 5 to 8 minutes, which I find is good for people. I don't know if folks are going to sit down and watch a half hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hour video, and so I feel little short talks are good, and they remain in the memory longer. And today I just want to touch on Islam, and I'm going to be very brief because with Islam that's all we need to be. And it is sufficient to say that Islam is of that Antichrist spirit. In other words, Islam, and we speak of this through the Quran because people say you want to learn about Islam, then they have the Quran. We would say, well, we have the Bible, it says this in the scripture, such and such, this is in the Gospels, in the New Testament, such and such. Therefore the Muslim points to the Quran. And it's only needful that we look at 2 points in the Quran. And there are 2 places. The first place in the Quran, it says that God doesn't have a son. He's too high and holy to have a son. It says that the Christians say that Jesus is the Son of God, or Yeshua. And it goes on and says that God condemns them. So therefore the Quran is saying of the Christians that God condemns the Christians because the Christians say that Yeshua, or Jesus, is the Son of God. In another part of the Quran, it says that he was not crucified. Yeshua, Jesus, was not crucified. People were only made to think he was or believe he was, but surely he was never crucified. Now they are the 2 points that are in the Quran, and that can be checked out if you want to. And that is sufficient for us to make the decision and understand that Islam itself is of that Antichrist spirit. Now, those who confess that Yeshua is the Messiah have both the Father and the Son, and those who confess that Yeshua is the Son of God, God dwells in them and they in God. I don't need to say much more, and that is sufficient. Some people would argue with the Muslims all day long and pull the Quran apart. That is not my aim. My aim is to sufficiently to tell you that the Quran says in these 2 places that basically God has no son and that Yeshua was not crucified. He didn't die. And that is the testimony from the Quran. And that is all that needs to be said. Thank you. But if you want to read the full text of what I've said, you may go to www.richard-2782.net and you'll see an article on Islam, and it quotes the 2 parts of the Quran that I spoke of, and then it goes on and lists all the scriptures, or a majority of scriptures, that speak regarding Yeshua being the Messiah and the Son of God, of his death, burial and resurrection. So that's all that needs to be said of Islam, and there is no concord between Islam and Christianity. There is no fellowship between Christianity and Islam. Even if the Roman Catholic Church cites in their catechism, which they do, where they say that the Muslims are brothers in the common faith, one indeed needs to ask of what common faith does the Roman Catholic Catechism speak, because certainly Islam is not the faith once delivered to the saints. Thank you.